What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live streaming right now with a huge market watch for you guys. Have so many tabs open that it is wild, so I'm going to try to keep a good pace going through here. Starting with Solemn Strike Ultimate Rare, I saw this one get bought out on Facebook, actually, while I was freezing under some blankets. I saw vendors making jokes like, hey, I'll sell my 3 for 700, but jokes aside, the price right now, the minimum is $250 versus a market price of $142. The market price actually up because people were spending their hard-earned money to get rid of the $160 copies and stuff like that. So we'll see how this one actually falls out versus what people spent on it. Yes, it is a pretty iconic card. It used to be expensive when it originally came out in Bosch. It really does look amazing, but is it worth it? Not currently. We'll see what actual sales start to progress from that point. But a huge buyout with a lot of dollars behind it. And that does raise the question too. With modern age ultimate rares from OTS pack, where is the ceiling? Is Maxi it at 500, or will we see other cards start to reach that summit of above $300, $400 over time? I don't know why this is bought out. Please do tell. Some people are saying Cyverse, Link.deck, other people pointing towards other places. Let me know in the comment section down below or in Twitch chat right now. That would be super helpful. Why Nightmare Corruptor Ibly is up in price. The ultra rares have spiked as well as the secret rares. So if you have secret first ed from your Goki days, maybe shoved away with a Gumblar in some forbidden deck box, the first edition lows are $10, and the ultras from the Megatons are up there in price as well. Tomb Kingdom Ultimate Rare getting a buyout. I told you guys that it did seem oddly low price, but maybe it's not the best looking version of the card. We're going to get into the differences on some OTS Ultimates and EU versus USA with OTS 15 that have me pretty peeved. Anyways, all things aside here, $6.99 nice. These are around $70 into $80, and it's interesting to see that people did wait for it to simmer, and then all of a sudden go in on it. Not the worst timing, especially with how OTS packs have had trouble getting distributed during these times. Although, you know, locals being able to mail them and also give them out along with sales, there do seem to be less of these OTS packs than usual being distributed. Simo and Nimnim affect the market. How dare they? Well, there's a lot of nostalgia driven within their series and where they're going through Yu-Gi-Oh! And that kind of stuff. So when you actually look to these cards, people are more so getting nostalgic, feeling the good times. I topped like 3 regionals, I want to say, with Twilight Sworn or Blackwing Light Sworn as well. So Blackwing Light Sworn, realistically, you're playing Charge the Light Brigade, Lila's, Raikos, that's your Lightsworn engine, and then you play a Blackwing deck with a couple of Chaos elements. All jokes aside, Gale was a powerhouse back in the day, and you see a ton of Gales going up, and then you see Nimnim's Nemesis Kalute going far up there as well. Very few Duelist Leagues left on some of them, while Legendary Collection 5Ds has been bought out. Memes turning into money, along with nostalgia getting really clouded up, and people going after cards because the YouTube series reminds them of when they were wee lads. Emergency Call. DR4 has been bought out. If it's DR4, a first edition old secret rare, I'm not surprised at this point. Retro pack, champion pack, dark beginning at this point, starting to finally see it. If it's an old card or it's a Dark Revelation 4, not the most surprising. We see this around $5 lowest now. I wonder how it'll settle out. It is just the common version, but it has that DR4 name to it, where the secret rare over here is next to it. Most recently, this actually got a prismatic art Starlight Rare or Prismatic in the OCG, which was kind of interesting to see. Machina Metal Cruncher is still up here after its buyout. I can only point towards like Orcus, Karkuri, Rogue Decks, Trains maybe. Let me know if you know why this is also up in price, along with all the people saying E in chat for the E emergency call. But let me know if you know the serious deck behind this, or if it's just a rogue option that's going up in price. I've always respected this as a penny stock, pointed it out when it was, and it's really stayed up there. Dozer Control? Okay. Crystron Citri, out of stock. Okay, we're actually using the real Krystrons to summon Halqifibrax. What's going on here? I'm losing touch. I don't know what's happening 1 week out, and y'all go buy out everything that's like low listings, not a reprint, seems like a cute tech, Team Sam Price Barrier. I don't know what's happening. Sam, so apparently this is a Team Samurai X1 buyout. White Aura Whale, I guess. Ice Barriers run this. It's been bought up to the point of $455 as some kind of boss monster besides Trishula for them. It only has one printing. Hidden City got some hype when Guru Control went out of control and took first place at a Remote Duel Invitational, and then apparently the super rare passed the secret rare for some time. People went crazy. You can see it's still low quantities. So Backrow.deck seems to be back up in price a bit. If you still have your copies, maybe now is the time to sell it or break it out and see if you can have some of that same success. Summon School Duel Terminal has been bought out. There's one listing left at $50 versus the old market price of $250. Looking around though and having another talk with chat, somebody who said, I bought a Dark Beginning sealed box for $500. Is that a good deal? And I went, Last time I looked, that wasn't. Then I looked on eBay today, they're all gone and way more ridiculously priced, trying to tag along with that Dark Revelations name. Even though there's way more of these packs in existence, a lot of things are getting hype beasted right now. So with that point, I would say you might want to start getting the singles for Dark Beginnings and sets like those if you have any inclination of it. They are getting targeted, they are going up in price, and they will get increasingly hard to get as we've seen people make runs on Dark Legends more recently. Dark Beginnings is up there in terms of nostalgia bait, different versions that look nice. You can't get another Super Summon Skull that looks like this. I would kind of suggest going after the Dark Beginning cards sooner than later. Of course, using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. I just wanted to say, lowest listing, $420. Nice. Chamber Dragon Maid goes up even further after my last market watch of me telling you guys to calm down or get bonked and stop it. I don't understand you, and the $250 Starlight's still there. People are literally paying almost a full playset versus a Starlight at this point if they're actually buying. Strike of Neos, some of those old cards are up, and this does bring up the point of what we were just talking about. Estimated value pulled. All these sealed boxes are skyrocketing in price and becoming unavailable, and that will lead to old singles also going up because they can't remain so cheap versus these $2,000 sealed boxes, and then having, well, what could you realistically pull out of it, and why are they holding value? Something has to give on one level. Either the sealed comes down a bit versus its availability, or singles go up. And a lot of Strike of Neos cards, a lot of other old secret rares and cards are going up. Grandmaster was pointed out to me, one of my old favorites, and he's jumped from like 100 towards 200 will actually be selling around here. Probably not yet, but in the future it really might be. And then we see one French first edition at 8888. Speaking of Six Samurais, these have gone up even further. Kizaru seems to have rolling buyouts on him. He's down to 2 listings. Hatsume above 10 towards 11. She-In secret rares above market price as well, headed towards 7. Kind of wild how Spirit Warrior still has people targeting it and going after it. Six Samurai is a huge fan favorite. Also, old first editions. We've talked about Duelist Genesis. Very hard to get first edition packs of this. We see random buyouts. It would almost seem towards any end of it. People trying to hope it sticks to the wall whenever buying out first edition secret rares. $100 for this card now? I don't think it'll be selling for that. But with all the old first edition secret rares that can't replenish themselves if they get bought out enough, where will prices and sales actually land? Will it become purely vendor hot potato, where it's like, yeah, I'll sell you this, I'll sell you that because they got in good? Or will they actually continue to inflate? Only time versus product will tell, especially on the lower end, less wanted ones, although there are Sutff fans who like to actually collect this line. I know several people who actually hunt down cards like that. Armed Dragon level 10 has me a bit angry. And none of the prices becoming very cheap very fast. I'm not a big fan of how it looks. I think this is terribly textured, terribly colored, just does not look good at all, and I don't like it. But then I get shown the EU holofoil came out completely different. Textured, almost as if the old school ultis that were colored in to where it pops, and you can tell the different kind of layering on it, even within the picture. And I still wish they would put some holofoil within the actual monster itself instead of just making it pop. That's completely lazy and modern ultimate rares, but this is far more acceptable and way better looking than this piece of trash ultimate rare we got over here in America in our OTS packs. These packs are meant to support locals, especially during hard times like this, and this is the draw to play in their remote duels over some cash prize remote duel. This is supposed to attract people to this place, and this is a complete letdown to me. And you're seeing the price definitely crash very fast versus those hundreds people were asking earlier, and it's still around the low of 100 on eBay, 93 I believe on this listing, but this just isn't acceptable at all to me. And the EU, theirs just seem on another level compared to the USA ones. This should not be happening, and I hope whoever is in charge of product lately, I know it's hard. I know that quality control is a huge thing right now. You gave us 12 Ultimate Rares a year, and when it amounts to looking like this is garbage and needs to be fixed. Tri-Brigade has a Starlight buyout. Not really sure why, other than the engine is really powerful, seems really cool. It's Bunny Goral. Nice to see Starlight's getting some love after talking a lot about how that market has fallen out and it's been going down. So just be aware, if you have one of these, they're worth a little bit more than what it was before, and maybe you can make a sale a bit higher as more eyes go, what happened over here? Sci-Frame Gear Gamma Ultra Rares are up in price. This is a weird one to me because you have the Collector Rare now. The Unlimited Collector Rare is not fetching as much in that market, also being wonky in and of itself. But the Ultra Rares have gone back up again. This is a card you would need 3 of. This is first edition, original version of it, if you will, but with all the competition that it has from other versions of itself, including a super rare that looks very nice out of Expo, you're kind of buying a mid rarity even if it is first edition original. It's not like a first original secret rare out of a core set booster. This is from a side set, so oftentimes those cards fall by the wayside unless they're a higher rarity / highest rarity, and this no longer is its own highest rarity. And you do have the rare for budget players as well. I remember when you could get these for 50, 60 cents. And the unlimited ones, I remember these being around 80. Now they look to be around 100. What's first at 150, which is lower than last time I looked at it. All sorts of things. It does look like it goes up towards 180 very fast, though. All sorts of things going on with Gamma, and I would still keep my eye on Sci-Frame Lord Lambda, because that generic link enables you to play these from your hand, even with a field. And finally, Link Spider is up. We've covered that it had been going up a couple times. You only have 7 of the Structure Deck commons now above the Super Rares, so just buy the super rare, question mark. But the supers are running out of quantity, so if you're interested in having this in your toolbox, maybe get it sooner than later. I do know that it's able to give you an effect monster over pretty much any token is the huge draw to it, because you can use any normal monster for it. But I am wondering why it's going up so much. You can turn your opponent's Nibiru token they hand you into this should it live, but that's not always the case. So I'd like to know exactly what's happening. The ultimate rare is up as well. Maybe it's just up in terms of playability and how much. Anybody in open chat have anything to add to Market Watch while we're here?
I would like to point out that for anybody that is wanting to get in on the Subterror hype, I would definitely be looking at the Battles of Legend Gurus, the Ultra Rares, because they're very cheap. It's something that if you do believe the deck is going to do well beyond what it just did, it's a pretty cheap card to get into right now, and it's the highest rarity. I believe it's the only hollow version of it.
My own personal opinion is that, kids, you shouldn't be getting into Guru. But if you do, he does have a point. This has been a very nice version of the card for a long time that has stayed under $1 if you're shopping smart, and looks to be headed over $1 at this point. So that might also be a sooner than later thing if you want to have it. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in to today's Market Watch. It feels so good to be back streaming, doing videos, saying what's good YouTube to somebody other than my wife while I ship her under the blankets, and have you guys hear me out. So thanks for joining, and come hop in on these live streams. We're over on Twitch, Zodiac Duelist over on Twitch. The link should be in the description.